It was a crisp autumn afternoon when I first wandered into the park, drawn by whispers of a forgotten legend. The statue, an ancient figure of a woman, stood cloaked in ivy and moss, her eyes seemingly following me as I approached. Despite the warnings etched into the park's entrance about the crying lady, my curiosity overpowered any sense of fear. As my fingers brushed against the cold stone, a shiver coursed through my spine, and the legend came to life. Her eyes welled with crimson tears that trickled down her marble cheeks. It wasn't just the sight of blood that startled me, but the overwhelming feeling that something had awakened. In the days that followed, everything around me seemed to change. The park, once bustling with life, became eerily silent, as if nature itself was holding its breath. The birds no longer sang, and even the wind seemed to hold its whispers. I found myself visiting the statue daily, compelled by an inexplicable connection. Each touch seemed to deepen the bond, and each visit, the tears grew more pronounced, carving pathways into the stone like a sorrowful river seeking release. I began to hear her voice, soft, pleading, begging for release from her eternal torment. The nights grew restless as her voice haunted my dreams, showing me glimpses of her past, a story of love, betrayal, and a curse that bound her spirit to the stone. She was once a woman of the village, wronged and accused of witchcraft, her essence trapped as punishment for crimes she did not commit. Her tears were a manifestation of her pain, a sorrow that needed to be understood to be broken. I realized the connection between us was no accident. I was meant to help her, to unravel the threads of a centuries-old curse. On the final night, guided by the visions, I returned to the park, armed with the knowledge she had imparted. As the moon bathed the statue in its silvery glow, I placed my hand upon her heart and recited the words she had whispered in my dreams. The ground trembled beneath me, and for a moment, I feared I had failed. But then, the statue began to crumble, releasing a blinding light. As the dust settled, the statue was gone, and a figure stood in its place, her eyes filled with gratitude instead of blood. She nodded once, her form slowly dissipating into the wind, leaving me alone in the park, surrounded by the echoes of her freedom.